Good evening and welcome to the NewsHour Agenda. Madhavdas. Just a day after the India bloc decided to rake up issues of jobs, inflation and graft to gun for the Modi Sarkar, the Prime Minister seems to have turned the tables on opposition. After first instructing his Council of Ministers to take on those criticizing Sanatan Dharma with full might, Prime Minister today decided to lead the charge himself. It's a blistering takedown of India parties that the Prime Minister spoke about while addressing a rally in poll-bound Madhya Pradesh. The Prime Minister called out their divide and rule strategy in the garb of opposing the caste system.
जिस सनातन से प्रेरित होकर स्वामी विवेकानंद ने समाज की विभिन्न बुराइयों के प्रति लोगों को जागरूक किया, जिस सनातन से प्रेरित होकर लोकमान्य तिलक ने मां भारती की स्वतंत्रता का बीड़ा उठाया, आज उसी सनातन को ये इंडी गठबंधन तहस नहस करना चाहता है। संत रविदास का प्रतिबिंब है जो सनातन संस्कृति माता शबरी की पहचान है, जो सनातन संस्कृति महर्षि वाल्मीकि का आधार है। मिलकर अब उस सनातन को खंड खंड करना चाहते हैं। सनातन को मिटाकर ये देश को फिर 1000 साल की गुलामी में धकेलना चाहते हैं, लेकिन हमें मिलकर ऐसी ताकतों को रोकना है। हमारी एकजुटता से उनके मंसूबों को नाकाम करना है।
And as Prime Minister reminded both his supporters and detractors of the virtues and ambit of Sanatan Dharma, opposition saw an attempt at deflection. Even today, not one of the parties in the anti-BJP alliance has come out to directly condemn the abject insults hurled at Sanatan Dharma and Hinduism. However, they did see an insult to their alliance's name, as the Prime Minister called them Ghamandia, and dubbed the PM's offensive a frustration-born deflection.
मैं समझता हूँ ये इनकी सोची समझी रणनीति है कि हिंदुओं के खिलाफ वो इस प्रकार के बयान कर रहे हैं। हिंदू समाज नाराज है और पूरा हिंदू समाज इसका पूरा मुंह तोड़ जवाब है।
हिंदू धर्म का और सनातन धर्म का इस धरती पर सबसे ज्यादा नुकसान अगर किसी ने किया है तो उस पार्टी का नाम है भारतीय जनता पार्टी और उस नेता का नाम है नरेंद्र मोदी। मैं कैसे कह रहा हूं 2 मिनट में आपको बताना चाहता हूं। ये वो लोग हैं जो प्रभु श्री राम के मंदिर में चंदा चोरी का काम करते हैं। इनका एक उप मुख्यमंत्री थे दिनेश शर्मा जी, उन्होंने कहा सीता मैया टेस्ट ट्यूब बेबी। मुख्यमंत्री बनाया इन्होंने मायावती जी को, और उसमें किसका मेला लगवाया था? मायावती जी ने पेरियार का मेला लगवाया था। पेरियार कौन थे? रावण समर्थक थे।
It clearly shows that the Congress party has made up its mind to attack the Sanatan cause. Their own leaders, including their own party president's son, who's a leader from Karnataka, has gone ahead and seems to have supported the kind of statements that have come on Sanatan Dharma. They should have come out, taken action against those who made these obnoxious statements against Sanatan Dharma. Instead, they are trying to deflect the issue by constantly attacking Prime Minister Modi.
See, Prime Minister is free to say whatever he wants. He is the Prime Minister of India, but there are more pressing issues that he should concentrate on. People are accusing him of rigging the economic growth of the country. China is building tunnels, China is building villages here. Those are the things he should be concentrating on.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's take this across to our guest. Joining us with us is Charu, Pragya spokesperson of the BJP. Dr. Anangnathan, author, is with us. Vivek Srivastava, political analyst, joins us. And also with us is Professor... all right, we have with us Tehseen Poonawalla, in fact, joining us at the moment. Let me start with you first, Tehseen. You know, the question that is being asked here by the Prime Minister is that it is very convenient, perhaps for whatever reasons, that leaders are commenting on Sanatan Dharma, the manner which they have. And we've debated this. But he is saying that you also should have the duty of talking about social reformers, such as Swami Vivekanand or Mahatma Gandhi or Tilak, why are all these reformers and their contribution to Indian society being ignored? They're also very much part of the Sanatan tradition.
Thank you, Madhav, for having me this evening on your show. And I heard the Honorable Prime Minister extremely closely, while I was extremely disappointed last night with the parties and celebrations he had at the BJP headquarters. I'm sure Charu was a part of it. While our brave men in uniform laid down their life for the tricolour, the Prime Minister was partying and having a celebration. Were these not sons of Mahabharati and were they not Sanatani? But I'm not going to go to that. The Prime Minister can do what he wants to do. I heard the Prime Minister very closely. He spoke about Ma Shabri. I agree with him. What action did the Honorable Prime Minister take on General V K Singh, who compared my Dalit children to dogs? Were they not Sanatani? What action did my Honorable Prime Minister take when he today spoke about Rani Lakshmibai? And I hold Rani Lakshmibai in very high regard. When the Scindias, who ditched Rani Lakshmibai, where are they today? Did the Honorable Prime Minister speak about them? No, he did not speak about them. I, Tehseen Poonawalla, have said that Stalin was wrong on what he said about Sanatan Dharma. But who was doing Chai Pe Charcha and Man Ki Baat with Stalin and taking pictures? The Honorable Prime Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Why was the Honorable Prime Minister there? Why did the Honorable Prime Minister not set an example for the rest of the country by saying, even in G20, no matter what protocol, if you insult something, we will not call you for this? Why didn't he do it? Why was he laughing? Okay, he called them because of protocol. Stalin is the chief minister. What was the need of taking pictures, laughing, gossiping, having pictures with them? What was the need of that? The Prime Minister has nothing to talk about. If the Honorable Prime Minister, for whom I have a lot of respect, can be this insensitive that when he lost children of Mahabharati, Sanatani children, to our enemy nation, he can party and have a celebration. What do you expect from our Prime Minister?
Okay, that's a very, very important issue that you've touched upon, Tehseen. And that's certainly an issue which we're going to, in a sense, debate later on the second half of the show. But since this is primarily on Sanatan, I'm going to ask Charu Pragya to respond to the 2-3 points that you made. There are comments which are casteist in nature, Tehseen says, that leaders of the BJP have made in the past. And if these comments were so highly objectionable, why was the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister and the Prime Minister in the same frame, even for the event? Those are two questions that Tehseen is asking you. Please respond to that, Charu Pragya.
Madhav, good evening. And usually my friend Tehseen is a lot more lucid than this, and at a time like this, to compare statements, I don't think it is right. However, since he is doing that, let me also draw a comparison for his benefit and that of our viewers. At the time when Nupur Sharma's statement was aired, the party he supports actually called out against her repeatedly. In fact, let's go one step further and remember that Dharam Sansad that happened. His party leaders actually said these were the Nazis. This is the statement that was used. Today, what have your party leaders said, Tehseen? Absolutely nothing. In fact, I can draw comparisons like this from every single party which is a part of this India alliance today. Nobody has said anything. In fact, at best, they have said, we respect all religions. Please tell me from which angle is a statement like we respect all religions equal to condemning the statement that has come from Udhayanidhi Stalin. Please explain that to me. The second thing I want to ask you is that since you condemn the statement, okay, individually in your capacity you do, who else from your party has done that? Clearly, just in that language, simply in that language without adding a but. Nobody else. In fact, have you taken any action against DMK at all? Because it is not just Stalin Jr. statements which are a problem. These statements have been supported by others in his system. So the others in his system, the HR minister was present at this conference where you called out for the eradication of Sanatan Dharma. No action against has been taken. A. Raja repeatedly has been hitting out against Hindus and Hindutva. In fact, he's now gone on to say that Hinduism is a menace to the world. Who has called him out? Please explain that to me. The education minister in Tamil Nadu is comparing us now to diseases like HIV and leprosy. Nobody has said anything in clear words, and that is a shame. In fact, if you are so clear and so good on your ideologies, either you should be telling them to walk their own path and remove them from your India alliance.
You made your point.
And
Tehseen,
if you don't do that, it is assumed that
two important points coming out of it. Why is there no strong condemnation coming in from Congress party? We've seen even TMC, Mamata Banerjee and the Shiv Sena come out and strongly condemn these statements coming in from DMK leaders. Mr. Stalin may have clarified that apart. Why is the Congress not taking a strong position on this? And particularly leaders of the Congress party, top leaders at that.
Thank you, Madhav. 3 very quick points. Number 1, I agree what happened with Nupur was wrong. I have the guts to say that, Nupur Sharma, and I'm standing up for her. The government of India threw her under the bus. It is the most shameful thing the government of India did. They threw her under the bus under pressure from countries like Afghanistan. Point number 2, this is not about Nupur. Let's go to point number 2. Let me finish, Charu, please. Point number 2, you said, your second point was on why aren't people in condemning DMK. I think DMK's statement was wrong. Show me one BJP Karyakarta in Tamil Nadu, one Karyakarta who filed an FIR in Tamil Nadu. You didn't even file an FIR in Tamil Nadu. That's your commitment. And I, Charu Pragya, I am nobody. I'm just a political analyst. I still have the guts to say Mr. Stalin is wrong. I still have the guts to say Mr. Karge's son is wrong. Do you have the guts to say Mahesh Sharma saying on the floor of the parliament when Prime Minister was sitting that there is no evidence of Ma Sita is wrong? Do you, my friend Charu, have the guts to say that Naresh Agarwal's abusive language for Bhagwan Ram, Bhagwan Vishnu, Bhagwan Shankar was wrong and BJP is aid in taking him? I have the guts to say.
Let's compare apples and apples here. I don't think filing an FIR and condemning a statement are both, carry the equal importance.
So BJP will do nothing. They will
okay. Let Charu respond.
At least file an FIR in Tamil Nadu. One FIR.
There are several FIRs that have been filed, maybe not in Tamil Nadu, but there are several FIRs. All right, Charu.
Because they don't have the guts.
Charu Pragya.
Tamil Nadu, they'll agree with the DMK.
Charu Pragya, this is problematic because here you have opposition attacking you for not filing FIRs on this particular matter. If you feel so strongly on that in Tamil Nadu, there are also political parties like you saw what Sanjay Singh say. They say that you are not a party that is working for Hindus. He's accusing you of doing Chanda Chori in the Ram temple, for instance.
No, so that has been debated frequently and it has been debated enough. In any case, let me move one step forward here, and I don't want to discuss the Ram temple right now because the fact is that the Ram temple chori was floated by this very opposition which loves to set a narrative which is against this country, against Hindus, and we should not forget that. So the point that Tehseen is raising, now let's remember that we always call a spade, and I am not here defending anything that the DMK has done. It is not my job. I am not in an alliance with them. It is you who's in alliance with them. It is you who continues to be protective of that alliance. Even today you are protective of that alliance because there has been absolutely no action. Yesterday you had a big long meeting. At the end of the meeting, you could actually boycott a whole list of journalists who are just doing their job, but you could not issue one combined statement saying that we don't agree with what Stalin said or we don't stand with DMK on this belief.
Okay.
You didn't do that.
Let me put that question across to Vivek now. Let me put that question across to Vivek. Vivek and Dr. Ranganathan need to come in now on this debate because we have limited time. Dr. Vivek, let me come to you. Why is it that, when the Prime Minister says that those who talk about condemn Sanatan Dharm, they are doing it for a political reason, he also says that the role of Mata Shabri, of Valmiki, who, as we all know, are supposed to belong to socially deprived classes, why is their role in Sanatan and Hindu literature being ignored? Is it being done deliberately by critics? That's the question he's asking.
Yeah. No, it is not being ignored. You see mythology and the reality, what is going on right now in the country for the last 500,000 years is very different. Yes, it is a religious book. There are some instances in which the Dalits are being treated very well. I agree with it. But however, what is the ground reality? What was the ground reality of Tamil Nadu before Periyar came?
Tilak, are these also fictional characters, sir? Were they not social reformers within the Sanatan framework? Mahatma Gandhi, for instance?
Swami Vivekananda. Yes, I'll quote Gandhi and I'll quote Swami Vivekananda also. Swami Vivekananda said that I'm appalled that the Hindu religion has boiled down to what to eat and what not to eat and whom to touch and whom not to touch. That's the first part. And as far as Mahatma Gandhi's Hinduism is concerned, it is not the RSS Hinduism. Mahatma Gandhi's Hinduism was inclusive. He went to the Dalit bastis. He cleaned the pakhanas way back before 1920s. He was cleaning toilets in Dalit bastis. In South Africa, he was equating the coolies, who were basically people who are from the lower strata of the society, to the British white nationals.
Well,
so, I mean,
thank you very much for just proving the point I'm making.
And the
Hinduism simple point that the Prime Minister is also making is all those who are working for social reform, why are they being ignored by people who are slandering Sanatan Dharma and Hinduism? That's a question that the Prime Minister is asking, sir. So it's a very blinkered, politically motivated, jaundiced view of Hinduism.
Mr. Mahatma Gandhi's Hinduism did not stop people from offering namaz in Gurgaon. Mr. Mahatma Gandhi's Hinduism did not ask people in Uttarakhand to leave within 7 days. Mahatma Gandhi's Hinduism did not threaten people.
Why is
in
the
other
DMK
states.
ignoring them?
Mahatma
Why is
Gandhi's
the DMK
Hinduism did
leaders
not have
ignoring the role of Mahatma Gandhi is my question.
Mahatma Gandhi's Hinduism, yeah.
Vivek Srivastava, I am asking you what the Prime Minister said. The question he is asking. You are answering everything but that. Those who are slandering Sanatan Dharma today, why are they ignoring all of those social reform movements? Can you answer that question, please?
Prime Minister is simply trying to make a fool of us. He doesn't understand Gandhi's Hinduism. He understands the Hinduism of upper caste dominance. This party wants to remove reservation, so they are trying to pull out a narrative that there was no problem with the Dalits across centuries.
Oh, 1 minute.
And anyone who's a Dravid or a Mool Nivasi who suffered before Periyar in Tamil Nadu when people were taking sticks, and there was a ghunguru tied to it to say,
okay,
I'm an untouchable and I'm
Dr. Ranganathan,
move away or my shadow will fall on you.
Dr. Ranganathan, I don't know how Vivek Srivastava has come to the conclusion that reservation is sought to be removed by this particular government, but he says that this is a government working only for upper caste. Please respond to him.
On a lighter note, Madhav, if I was the India Alliance and I was to ban some people, maybe I would ban some panelists for their illogic and irrational. No, but that's a lighter note. I would never do that because I really enjoy what Vivek has to say, even though it is completely irrational. Let me please just correct some facts. First of all, here is Vivek waxing eloquent about Dalit rights and everything. Let me quote verbatim the founder of CPIM, EMS Namboodiripad. Quote, caste system is a superior economic organization. Dalits are inferior to the working class. No wonder. I again now quote Dr. Ambedkar,
absolutely
who said,
not.
I am an implacable enemy of the communists. He talked about communism derisively as a wildfire that will consume this country. And EMS Namboodiripad said, we want to wreck Ambedkar's constitution from within. इन्होंने पढ़ा है नहीं कुछ और ये गांधी को कह रहे हैं. मैं गांधी के कोट्स बताऊं. गांधी believed in heredity.
आप out of context बोल रहे हैं.
But out of context, Madhav, you know, I have requested you.
Okay. Vivek, you can respond to him. You can respond to him. There is time. Please let him make his point quickly. Yeah.
Yes, and I am prepared to fund if you don't have enough faders, Madhav. But please, for heaven's sake, can you please fade Vivek out? At least for
everyone. As a free speech absolutist, you should be allowing everyone to speak, but all within their turn. Yeah. Go ahead now.
No, of course, that was on a lighter note. But as far as Vivek now endearing himself to Mahatma Gandhi, do I need to tell about what Ambedkar thought of Mahatma Gandhi? Do I need to tell you about the facts about Mahatma Gandhi, that he believed in hereditary varna? That he said that a Harijan or a Dalit can learn the Vedas, but he dare not earn his money from it. अरे कुछ पढ़ लो विवेक, इतना खाली टाइम है आपके पास, नोटा के ज्यादा वोट्स आ रहे हैं आपसे.
अरे out of context, उल्टा सीधा कोट मत करिए.
Okay, no personal jibes also. One second. Vivek, just 1 second. Dr. Ranganathan, let's not get personal because then you'll provoke a reaction, then you'll say I'm not being allowed to speak. So let's keep it civil. You can of course politically criticize them. There's no issue. No personal jibes. Go ahead.
Madhav, correcting Mahatma Gandhi, is it personal?
No.
Vivek.
But आपने कहा आपके नोटा से ज़्यादा कम votes आ रहे हैं. All those things are avoidable. Let's stick to political discourse, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, okay. Now, enough with my good friend Vivek, because otherwise he'll refuse to come to JNU and have coffee with me. Now let me turn to my other great friend Tehseen. पहली बात तो इनकी fake news. कि Mr. General V K Singh never compared Dalit children to dogs. In fact, an FIR was sought to be lodged by a congressperson against General V K Singh and the court dismissed it. There is a difference between analogy, that too was completely out of context when General V K Singh used it. So Tehseen, you should be the last person talking like this derisively and wrongly about General V K Singh, who's an exalted army officer. Please, he's defended us, Tehseen. Please, I don't expect that.
Okay.
Number two, more importantly, I repeat out here, if I were to say, Madhav, and I'll just finish I'll ask a very simple question to Tehseen. If I say that Judaism should not only be opposed, it should be eradicated like malaria and dengue, what will happen? What will happen in this country? I will be called an anti-Semite, I will be banned, I will be cancelled. So I want to ask again, Tehseen, my good friend, what is the step that Congress has taken against DMK? It's not limiting itself to Sanatan Dharma now.
Okay.
Yesterday Raja said about Hinduism. They have graduated from Sanatan Dharma to Hinduism.
Okay.
And Congress, especially Rahul Gandhi, is completely silent.
Let me come in now. Let me come in now. I want both the panelists to respond. I want both the panelists. Tehseen, A, you're spreading fake news, and B, question to you. Is this also part of Mohabbat Ki Dukaan?
I find it amazing when my very good friend Dr. Anand Ranganathan, who sometimes masquerades as a political expert, says I am spreading fake news because I quote Mahatma Gandhi verbatim. Dr. Ranganathan, please hear. Anand, please tweet this. Varna has nothing to do with caste. Down with the monster of caste that masquerades in the guise of Varna. It is in this travesty that Varna that has degraded Hinduism and India. This is what Mahatma Gandhi says.
Allow me to rebut now.
Okay, your response.
No, one second. No, let me expose Dr. Ranganathan.
No, you're not.
Even if Mahatma Gandhi, please, I just exposed you now. Don't act like a chicken that is seen a fox. Hold on. Now, just because even if Mahatma Gandhi was against or was for the caste system, why is the Honorable Prime Minister quoting Mahatma Gandhi? So the Honorable Prime Minister wrong. That reminds me, the AIDMK supports what the DMK says. Has the BJP broken alliance? Sanjay Nishad said the most obnoxious thing about Lord Ram's father. Anand, if you and I repeat it on the show, we'll both go in jail. So will Madhav. Has the BJP broken governance? I am saying the Congress can do better. Hold on, Anand. I am saying the Congress can do better. But the last one to preach about it is the BJP. ऐसा कोई सगा नहीं जिसको भाजपा.
Quick response from Dr. Nathan. We're almost out of time. Quick response. 30 seconds.
Yes. Number one, when the Prime Minister supports and eulogizes Mahatma Gandhi, I say Danke ki chot pe is totally wrong. He shouldn't do it. Number two, Tehseen is resorting to whataboutery, giving examples of, yes, I agree with you, Tehseen. In fact, the people who said RSS ki sajish thi 2611 are now in BJP. I am the one who criticized it. Yaar, kya baat kar rahe ho? And number three, please do not quote Mahatma Gandhi against me. I have written 30,000 words on Mahatma Gandhi.
Okay.
He did not conflate between Varna and caste. What he said was he believed in hereditary Varna.
End of the day, Dr. Ranganathan, I have to come in here because we are completely out of time. The fact is that the Mahatma did work for the upliftment of Harijans. Yes, he may have held controversial views on a number of issues, but ultimately you have to go by his actions, and we'll have to leave it there for the moment. Charu, Pragya, Dr. Ranganathan, Vivek Srivastava, Tehseen Poonawalla, thanks so much for joining us on debate number 1.